what do you call it when you're buying stuff for the land?
Capital spending?
Oh yeah, I guess that would work.
And we are live. So welcome guys to another, probably last for now, budget video. We've been here for about 3 months now. We've done 2 separate monthly videos where we've gone into detail on how much we spend on basically living in rural Portugal. So you can go and check those out, obviously on the channel if you haven't seen them already. Some of them will go into more detail. For example, the first one went into a lot more detail on our weekly shopping. Even has, I think I've put the copy of the receipt on there. So yeah, we've got a pretty good idea of how much life actually is costing us now, rather than just estimate it. Obviously, winter is still a little bit of an unknown, but for the most part, we have a pretty good idea of how much life is costing us here. So let's run through the figures for this month just very briefly.
Right, been told to be brief. We shall see how this goes. Brief is not my strong point. So we were finding that shopping, our weekly shop, is costing us about £130 for each shop.
Yeah, it's basically over the last 3 months it's worked out that for our weekly shop to be comfortable, it's between 100 and 130 euros. Sometimes it's at the lower end, sometimes it's at the higher end, but on average it's sort of in that bracket. We were hoping, originally when we were doing the budgeting, we were hoping to keep it under 100 euros per month, and if you really tightened your belt you probably could. If you know, for example, if we were to grow some of our food, which at some point we will do, then that you'll be able to get it under 100 euros. Yeah. But in our case, it's...
And we basically buy what we want, don't we?
Yeah, for the most part.
And to be fair, I don't know if I said this last video, I think I did, but David used to shop alone. Now he shops with me every week.
Yeah.
He did go shopping alone on one occasion because we had to take the cat to the vets. So David ran in the supermarket, did the shopping. Now that one, you did manage to feed us for £50 that week. 50 euros, sorry. 50 euros that week. So there were a few things missing.
That you would have preferred to have.
That we would have preferred to have, but we survived.
But we still
on £50
managed.
shop.
So it's doable. You can definitely do a weekly shop for under 100 euros. But yeah, you just need to cut back on non-essentials basically. Yeah. But it's doable if you're prepared to compromise enough.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, well, let's just finish off with the weekly shop. So, do you know how much we spent in total in May?
In May we spent 427 euros.
427 for basically all of the weekly shops that we had. That probably would have been about 4 weekly shops. Yeah,
4 weekly shops, and then like there were occasions we popped in to get things to take out with us on a day out and things like that.
Yeah, like when we're on the motorbikes at the weekend. I've got 3 bits in my head. So yeah, we stop off for lunch at a supermarket. Right, back to it.
Fuel for the car was something that we weren't sure how much would cost us. Now, how far away are we from Castelo Branco?
Oh, now I don't really know. It's about 45 minutes. Usually do about 80 to 90 kilometers an hour. So it's gonna be.
And
I've got no idea.
We try to go in once a week and do everything in Castelo Branco once a week. So we weren't sure what fuel would cost.
Yeah, but we don't always manage it.
We have a very fuel efficient car. Like, what does it do? 70?
Yeah, 67, 65 miles per gallon, easy.
Yeah. And we're finding that actually we only need to fill up once a month.
A month, yeah.
Once a month. So I think we're looking at about, average fill up for us is about 80, somewhere between £75, I think, there or thereabouts.
Yeah, which is more or less what a full tank of diesel costs for the car at the moment. As a point of reference, if somebody's watching this in the future, diesel, we're having to pay on average just over €2 a litre at the moment. Obviously when that goes up, that's going to increase. If it goes down a little bit, it would drop. But yeah, it's diesel's around €2 a litre, just over €2 a litre, and we've managed a week on just with a single tank. 75, yeah, 75, 85, 80 euros
a month,
roughly,
yeah,
per month over the last 3 months.
So that's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we're pleased with that.
And then obviously in our case, because we've got the motorbikes and we do take them out on average once a week, we fill those up as well.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you've put that in a separate field.
Yeah, and for March I think we went out 4 times. We didn't go far. No, not March. What month are we? May. Crikey. So we didn't go far in May, and we spent about €70 on fuel for 2 motorbikes. So.
But that's just leisure spending,
Yeah.
basically. It's if you
You
don't
wouldn't
have them, you wouldn't spend that. Or if you go somewhere in your car, you'd probably have to
Yeah.
spend that on the fuel for your
the
car. So
yeah.
it just depends how much leisure driving or riding you do.
Yeah.
So that covers our fuel and weekly shops. Should we move on to electricity? Just because we spoke about it just before we started recording.
Yeah, we can do, yeah.
So it looks like our electricity bill is going to be more or less €80 a month.
Yeah.
Because we've had a look, and for, did I say April or May?
It was April,
because it's
basically.
like 2 months behind, isn't
Yeah.
it? So for April, our bill is like €79.65, something like that. So, and the month before it was 82.10. So it looks like electricity on average, probably outside of winter. I expect in winter for this to increase somewhat. But for the time being, electricity is €80 a month in our case.
But we are coming into summer now, so
Yeah.
we don't have proper air conditioning in the house.
The one that is there is broken, so we need to replace that.
Yeah.
So for the
So
time,
we're using like a
Portable.
little portable standalone aircon unit in the bedroom.
But
As that's the
that's-
only room that needs it.
yeah, but
So we don't know what that would do to the price of electricity.
yeah, but the aircon pretty much only ever goes on at night.
But it goes on all night. It goes on. For
It
a
goes
solid,
on.
like,
Yeah, it goes
10
on
hours.
all night. Yeah,
You
but then
couldn't sleep without it. It's not an option.
you'd struggle because the house, even though it's a stone cottage, and the walls are like half a metre thick, if not slightly thicker, it does heat up gradually over time. So at night, when it cools down outside, it keeps the temperature pretty stable on the inside. Regardless, we've got one window which is pretty much permanently open now, because it's so safe around here that we don't need to worry about it. But it doesn't really cool the house down sufficiently to make much of a difference. So yeah, aircon for us is a must overnight. Otherwise, yeah, you'd just wake up and you'd struggle to do stuff because you wouldn't have energy. So yeah, we don't know what that's going to do to the energy, to the electricity bill. It might increase it somewhat, but we'll see. But yeah, for the time being, over the last 3 months, average electricity bill, more or less €80 we expect that to be. So
Our water rate.
yeah,
I guess that's the.
has that been stable?
That's been fairly stable. That was €16.
Yeah, so 16.
So that's much better than what we paid in the UK.
Yeah, so water's not that much.
Yeah, and like we use all the water we want. The shower we limited by the heat, the boiler size.
Yeah,
basically.
but to be honest now,
We-
because the cold water is coming through lukewarm basically from the mains.
Yeah, in the winter it was harder to get a good shower in because I like a look. We both got long hair. We both like a long shower to wash our hair. But now it's not been a problem. As either we've sped up in the shower, possible.
Well, we've replaced the
Pipe.
God, stuff. Yeah, the shower hose pipe
yeah.
thing that broke, so we replaced it. And I think This one's letting through less water, but the pressure's still good. So anyway, I think we're using a little bit less, but on average, I think it's generally just for connection really that you're paying. It doesn't seem to fluctuate much, does it?
No.
So yeah, you're looking at under €20 per month for water, basically, on mains water. Next thing?
I guess next thing, and this is a bit of an oddball, I would say the vets.
Yeah, we touched on that.
Our cat's been poorly recently, so we've been to the vets 4 times in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We have found vets to be slightly cheaper than in the UK. So the first time we went and she had like a check to see what was going on, and a course of 7 days of antibiotics, and that cost €37, which I thought was a real bargain actually.
Yeah.
€37. The next time we went, she had to have bloods taken because she's an old cat. So they took her blood there and then. They took her for a chest x-ray there and then. We had the results back before we left the vets, and that cost us, goodness, which one is that? Sorry. Oh, I've lost it.
Somebody didn't put their specs on.
No, I didn't put my glasses on. But that cost us €87 for a full blood test and x-rays. So that was really,
and
really
the consultation.
good. And the consultation.
So that's pretty good again.
We also went over to a specialist pet hospital in Corvillia, where they did a ECG of her heart.
Ultrasound of the heart.
And that was a bit more expensive, so that cost, was it actually? That was €78, which
For an ultrasound.
for an ultrasound. And then today we've just got back. She's all good. She's had some teeth extracted, and that cost us €200. So it's been quite expensive this month for the cat.
But I imagine if in the UK it would have been more
It would have cost a lot more. And I don't think they would have
bothered with.
They wouldn't have done some of those more specialist tests they insisted on here, I don't think.
They were very careful with.
They were very careful before they did anything. So.
And you know, because she's been to the vets before we moved over, not like a few times in recent months.
Yeah.
So we've got a fairly fresh comparison.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time at the vets in the UK, and I was happy with them. But when I look back now, the problem she's having now should have been picked up probably years ago. We shouldn't be in this state now.
Yeah.
This should have been picked up by vets years ago, not now. But here we are, so we're getting it fixed. So yeah, so that's an interesting comparison if you have pets. And yeah, I think that for me, I think that was everything.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we've gone into enough detail in these videos, and we've not really had too many questions, if any, from people. We've had some really useful suggestions on cheaper alternatives, which are really nice, so thank you for those comments. But yeah, we were hoping that with those 3 videos, if there's anybody else thinking about moving to Portugal from the UK, US, you know, wherever you are, and you just don't really know what to expect in terms of your spending, hopefully those 3 videos gave you an idea of what you need to budget for. And I suppose the big question to answer is, can you live in Portugal for under €1,000 per month?
Probably not. If you're frugal, we're not frugal.
If you're frugal...
Oh, we've got some horses coming. Oh no, we've got some runners coming.
So...
Hello, Dad.
If you're frugal, can grow some of your own food, don't spend too much on luxuries, like in our case we've got insurance for 2 motorbikes, road tax for those, that sort of thing. If you keep your energy consumption down, what else? Obviously, if you haven't got a mortgage or rent to pay, which we don't, then I think it's doable.
Yeah.
But you'll really, you know, it's not going to be comfortable. You're not going to go in and just get what you need. Also, whenever you have any non-standard spends come up,
Yeah.
so something breaks, something needs replacing, your car tires need replacing, your car needs a service, you know, things break, you do need to replace things as you go through life. Not just because you want a new one, but just because you need one. Then I think for that, if you really want to stick to that budget of €1,000, I think you will struggle.
Yeah.
For purely day-to-day living expenses, I think it's doable in the rural part of Portugal. But like I said, you can't have rent for that, you can't have a mortgage, car loans or anything like that, you can't have those. But if you really try it, it's doable.
Yeah.
So make of it what you will.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions for us on cost of living, then drop us a comment below and we'll try to help you out as much as we can. And I think that pretty much sums it up for this.
I think so.
So yeah, we hope you found these videos useful. If you have, leave us a thumbs up and we'll call it at that for this.
Yep.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.